€80, that's 50 for me and 30 for the government. Taxes. Governments need the money to pay for essential public services, and in the wake of the global economic slowdown, they need the money even more. That's why the OECD has been working with governments to lead a fight against global international tax evasion. I'm with Grace Perez-Navarro, who is the Deputy Director of the OECD's Center for Tax Policy and Administration. Grace, can you tell me what the OECD is doing in this fight against global tax evasion?
Well, we've been leading work to crack down on tax evasion globally, and we've had unprecedented progress over the last 10 months. What has spurred this progress? Well, it's been a number of major tax evasion scandals, the one in Liechtenstein, the UBS case, which is now being prosecuted in the United States, and in addition, of course, as you mentioned, there's the financial crisis. Governments need all revenues legally due now more than ever. We've seen major financial centers agree to change their policies to improve transparency and, most importantly, to cooperate in exchanging information with other countries so that they can enforce their tax laws. We've had over 100 agreements in the last 10 months signed between countries to help facilitate this cooperation. It's really been unprecedented, and we're looking forward to additional progress in the coming months.
But there are still tax havens around the world who think it's good business to let people who want to avoid paying taxes hide their money. How are you going to make sure that these tax havens don't carry on operating as they have done in the past?
Well, Nick, we've just set up a brand new global forum that is going to carry out intensive, in-depth peer reviews to ensure that these commitments to implement transparency and exchange of information are actually implemented in an effective manner. And so that work is going to begin immediately. And so it's just a matter of time before those who are lagging behind and still not convinced that the G20 and other major nations around the world mean business when they say the era of bank secrecy is over.
Okay, but there's still maybe some that continue operating outside the law. What can be done to penalize those tax havens that still persist?
Well, the G20 recently met, and they have indicated that they intend to use sanctions if necessary as from March 2010. And we hope that that won't be necessary, but if there are those who haven't made sufficient progress, then there are those countries who will do that. Now, what kind of sanctions are they talking about? Well, they've already identified a couple as examples. This would involve additional withholding taxes on payments going to entities in tax havens or non-cooperative jurisdictions, the denial of deductions for fees paid to entities in these non-cooperative jurisdictions. The regional and international development banks have also been asked to consider how they could address these issues by perhaps not investing in non-cooperative jurisdictions or restricting the loans that go through those jurisdictions. And so there are a whole range of these types of measures that countries are considering. And in fact, I think those who still have doubts about the seriousness of this global initiative, they need to look at what's happening already, because these sanctions will not be imposed by the OECD. These sanctions will be implemented by individual countries. And already we've seen this month, Portugal has implemented some new defensive measures of the types that I have just referred to.
Thank you very much, Grace.
Thank you, Nick.